It's been there for a little while now, but I did notice, every time you upload a video to YouTube, it's prompting you to confirm that what the video you're uploading is exactly a video that you shot, and is not like a misrepresentation. Essentially, the wording of the question, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head now, is got to do with it's kind of like suggesting it's not an AI generated piece of content where you're misrepresenting something going forward. And I just find that as amazing because, you just have to scroll around on feeds at the moment, and, the amount of AI generated stuff that seems to be showing up. There's AI generated YouTube videos, and you can usually tell them because they're a collage of stock video footage with an AI generated voiceover, and it's, the top 10 tips to do whatever, or here's some guided meditation practice, or here's some great thoughts to fall asleep to, or whatever, and it's all kind of put together. And I just kind of it's becoming messier and messier in that respect. Like, it's the mixture of the content. You'd almost feel better, like on YouTube you've got like topic breakdowns. Well, I don't know if you call it topic breakdowns, it's more like sections. So music, the video section, that kind of thing. They almost need like an AI video section.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought, isn't it? Or do we just want AI to seamlessly find its way into every content feed? And what exactly are they asking for? Are they going to stop you putting something AI up?
Unless it's just so that if you're saying you're confirming it, being honest about it, they're not going to take it down. But if you put something up that is a misrepresentation, or it's not something that it appears to be, that and you claim that it is, then they'll go after you or flag you or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, okay. It'd be interesting to know exactly why they're doing this when there's so much dubious content on YouTube anyway.
Absolutely. Well, we were talking about AI and advertising last week, and just wanted to carry this forward with Facebook and Instagram, looking to have from Meta enabling AI ad creation by the end of next year. And essentially, I guess we were talking about it before we started, but essentially the gist of it being that AI is effectively going to be generating these ads for people on their Facebook pages or whatever. Or it could just be totally random. Facebook might see a niche in the market that, it can, or Meta, I should say, finds a niche in the market, and they think, we can make some ads out of that, and just spoof your feed as it is. It certainly feels like feeds look like that at the moment, with the amount of stuff you have to scroll through before you actually get to something that you want to look at. Or you'll see something like, how did it know that I was looking at that? Now, I know we've had discussions in the past about how Google does that, where how does it mysteriously know to put certain types of links at the top of your Google searches if it didn't have cookies embedded in your browser history or whatever. But this is a little bit more, dare I say it, insidious, because essentially it could be, effectively mining any sort of interactions you're having across any of its platforms. And you have to remember that, there's Instagram where you could be commentating, WhatsApp you could be sharing messages with, and it could be mining this and then using an AI tool to just read all of that, and they go, hey, let's, because we know it can create text and images, so it's easy enough to just, throw together a meme-looking ad that you're scrolling through, and bang, off you go. And that's the thing that just it makes me want to less engage with it, basically, because it's like, well, this is just going to be really like pushing it down a path of unusability if you're really wanting to look for quality content in your feeds.
Well, I think anyone who wants quality content is in the minority, and if they haven't checked out already, it might be too late. But it's interesting because a couple of months ago they were asking Zuckerberg what would happen with WhatsApp around advertising, etc., etc. But you can see now, in the same way that your phones listen to what you say, they will mine WhatsApp chats. Now, I don't know, how secure that really is, because if AI can read it, anyone can read it. But they'll mine your WhatsApp chats, and basically then, completely automatically in the ether, thanks to AI, they'll generate these meme-based ads that'll pop up in your Facebook feed, that'll pop up on your Insta feed, that'll pop up anywhere else you go. And I'm sure Alphabet will do the same thing through Google. So it's very interesting. It's an extension of what we're already seeing. But I think that's what really feels unnatural about it, is it's becoming so automated that there's no human intent in that advertising chain. It's as simple as trolling what people are saying and creating something to try and hook them in. And for me, that's really not a very positive way forward. It's obviously cheap and easy, and in a lot of ways probably no different to the Google sponsored search response, but gee, it's not giving you any choice, because you'll be weeding through so much content advertising or content marketing. It'll be hard to find anything original, and that's what we were talking about last week.
And not to say that when people, I think, try to ignore ads anyway, but at least with people actually creating ads, there was a certain level of creativity involved in going in, and that's something that we touched upon last week, I think, where there was actual work put into creating ads for consumption, and there was a tailoring of that in that sense with humans in the loop. And I'm trying, I guess, segueing into another area that is a bit disturbing is, if you're taking humans out of the loop in terms of that creativity, obviously it applies to so many other fields, etc. And then, I wanted to get to this next topic, which was saying new research saying, AI reduces brain activity, and I actually don't know if I needed to see a study on that. I feel like that's almost like a obvious thing to kind of see that would be the case, because the key thing being, and I think again it's something we've touched on before, is are you using the AI tool? And it's funny, it's either you as the individual, or it could be a corporation like Meta wanting to sack workers in their ad department because they don't want to pay them. But are you using the tool to do the work for you, or are you using the tool to support work you already have put together? The latter is probably a more proficient use of the tool, and probably a better use for the tool. You're still doing the work, but you're using it to help you to get it to a better place, or just to, even if as an idea bounce off generator, that could be a potentially good use. But if you're actually just using the tool to do the work, you're outsourcing your brain to the AI. Of course, why wouldn't it make you dumber? Because it's like a habit forming sort of scenario, because your brain will go, oh, I don't need to do that. All right, let's bring up the bot. Let's see what it says. And then I don't have to do it, and I can just go back to, I don't know, drooling on the couch.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not a pretty picture you paint there, Ben, but it's probably pretty accurate. I mean, look, you're absolutely right. And even if we take a step back, say to our previous topic, creativity originally was to attract people or create attention for a particular product. And because I could be sitting here dreaming about anything, you had to be very clever about the content you presented to me to get your product in my mind. Content marketing's different, and using AI to pull out what I'm already talking about with my friends and then present it back to me means that you've already got my attention, because that's a topic I'm interested in. So you don't need to be creative. You just need to say, click here and you'll be a better person, or click here and you'll get a report written for you. and then this is where it is making us dumber, because exactly as you say, if all we do is interact with things that we are already front of mind, and we take that information when we need information, and typically, and studies have shown this, that if we don't know something and we feel we need to know something, we almost certainly believe what we're told. Now, I don't know that we know that AI doesn't always get it right. And if you throw in that they're trying to sell you something at the same time, why would they even try to get it right? Because getting you to click through, getting you to purchase is far more important. So the danger of dumbing us down is, one, it takes away our need to expend effort for an answer. Two, it allows us to believe any answer because we're saving effort. And three, it removes any need for creativity. And once you remove those things, you have people that aren't thinking very much about the content they're interacting with, and it lowers the bar for creativity and the human interaction with creativity.
Absolutely. I know this is sort of tangentially related, but if you want to bring yourself back into the loop when it comes to your feeds, when you're on YouTube, instead of just clicking on links that it presents you, maybe use the search tool and actually deliberately search for completely different topics, obviously of what you're interested in. Keeps your mind active, and it might actually educate the algorithm to be a bit more random with what it actually spits out for you.
Yeah, amen to that.
Absolutely.